Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the Hoops Official. Today I'm interviewing Yohan Rosso. Yohan is a French FIBA referee who needs no introduction, but I'll give you a brief one anyways. Yohan has been around for some time. This year marks the 30th year in officiating for Yohan. He has seen it all. He has been with French top flight since 2011. He has been with Eurobasket. He has been with Basketball Champions League since its inception, and he has been in the Olympics, the latest one being Paris 2024. With Yohan, we focused on a couple of things, one of which is unique communication style, which combines humility and assertiveness on the court in a very elegant way. It's definitely something we can all learn from.
No, he's hitting the ball. Number 12. When he pushes the ball, he hits the forearm of the player. This is how it is. Hey, take it easy. Okay, easy. When he was dribbling, you hit the forearm of the player. I'm sure. I am sure. You should stop. Hey! Stop it! I was not sure, that's why I didn't make the call. Maybe you're right, but I was not sure.
The other aspect we focused is some of the newest concepts around officiating in FIBA, patient whistle, cadence whistle, longest time with the defender, and how these impact officiating today. We have gone through the theory of each of these concepts, but we also have some clips that we want to show you to support the theory. So this is a must-see for those who wants to improve the three-person officiating mechanics. Please tune in and share it with your referee friends or whoever really interested in European basketball. Thanks for joining Hoops Official. I am looking forward to talking in great detail about some of the interesting aspects of refereeing with you. And I know that you have a busy schedule. Thanks for making time and being here.
Thanks for your invitation. Yes, the schedule is quite busy and quite full, but it's always a pleasure to take some moment and to share the experience that I have built during the years. And it's really a pleasure for me to be here.
Yes, that is great. And I'm sure myself and the referees who watch it will learn a great deal. So without further ado, I'd like to talk about your refereeing career. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this year is your 30th year since you have started refereeing, if my math doesn't fool me. So congrats on that. It's a big number. How do you feel about it?
Thank you. Yeah, it's a long path. It's started many years ago in my local club, and I started to officiate just to help the kids in my organization, in my club. And since then, I never stopped. It was quite. I took it like step by step. At the beginning, it was not any goal to be at the highest level or things like this. For me to be there at the national level will be more than satisfying me. But slowly the goals changed. Then we went to higher ones, and I took step by step. In the process, it was some failure, of course, bad games, good games, but I never quit. I took all these difficult moment as a learning process. It was not always easy, but I reached the first division in France in 2011. I became FIBA referee 2015, and since then the career is going quite good. I had I officiate Eurobasket 2017. I can't remember all the years, but I think I did also in the last one. I did World Cups, even one final in 2019 in China. I was in the group of the BCL referees since the beginning, 2016, when they created the league. And I had the chance to make 6 finals in a row. And that's it.
You excluded the Olympics, which are, the kind of the spectacle for any referee I talk to. So what about them? How do you feel about them?
Two Olympics, one in Tokyo, one in Paris. The Paris one was a little bit more special. First of all, because it was some publics in the stand, and the second of all, because it's my hometown. So right. This was really, really great experience.
And I'm not mistaken, you refereed the bronze medal game in there?
Yes, in both Olympics, I refereed the bronze medal game. France was playing the final each time, and it was quite successful for France. one team in the final, the referee in the third. So very
Right.
nice.
Right. So it's kind of, if it wasn't for France, maybe you would have refereed the final game as well. You never know.
This you never know. This is a dream for sure, but you
Yeah.
never know. There is a lot of referees. All the referees in the group who are participating to Olympics are dreaming about this final nomination, and but it's very difficult to reach because you must perform, but also the other ones are performing well. So
For sure.
everyone during the competition can reach the spot to be nominated for the final.
Competition is definitely high. It's one game, 3 referees, and I'm sure there is, tens of referees who's gunning for the position for that 3 slots. But I said, you have done great for yourself in your career, especially after you reached the top level, top flight in France. The success kind of followed up from there onwards, internationally as well. And I think, if you take it as a feedback, one of the people who is looking outside from it, one asset that you have is your communication style, which might or might not help you, achieve what you have achieved so far. What do you think? Like, you're able to achieve this very nice balance everybody talks about. You're humble enough. You acknowledge that there are different perspectives, player, coaches. You sometimes say, like, you might have seen things differently to players, and that is equally correct. You don't shy away from, admitting if you have missed something. But you also know where to, say stop and move away and be like, very strict about it. How do you achieve that? Is it something, you're born with, or did you learn throughout your career to be that person on the court?
I think one part is inside of you for sure, but one part is also, I think I'm putting all my years, my experience as a teacher on court. Like, I need to deal with kids, and every time I make the parallel between like officiating and kids. And like with kids, when I was dealing with kids in my classroom, I was like wondering, is this a behavior for a technical foul? Is this a behavior for unsportsmanlike, or this kind of things? So I was like practicing in my personal job how to deal with conflict, to deal with the behaviors, to deal with the sanctions and everything. And this helped me to bring it in the game. And I think also the communication, the most important thing is to understand why people are talking and which information they are giving and why. Because then you can understand what's the purpose of the communication and which kind of answer they are expecting.
Right.
Of course, to be in the communication, you need to have respect. Like, it cannot be only one way respect, it must be both way.
Right. Okay, that sounds interesting. Well, actually, there's a couple of things very interesting. I like the parallel between, teaching kids at school and officiating on the court.
I think a lot of moments in our life can be transferred to what is happening on court.
Right.
You go to shopping mall, you go to grocery shop, a lot of situation can be similar, let's say, can be a little bit practice from the real life to bring it on the court with the officiating style.
Yeah, at the very essence of refereeing is just relating to the other people, communicating, like, interpersonal skills, which we practice every day in other situations, as you say. So it is a little bit more intense, obviously, compared to going to a shopping mall. But I definitely see your point in being able to practice or see the world through the lens of refereeing. Yeah, it just got me thinking that I'm a consultant in IT industry in my day job. What would that look like when I have meetings with clients, for example? Technical foul or a disqualifying foul. That would definitely make up some interesting conversations. All right. I wanna ask actually a specific moment, and because this being honest with the players, and then, as you said, what they want to hear from you at that moment, I think it's an important skill. We talked a lot about communication in this podcast, but I don't think we ever touched upon what they want to hear from you. So let's do that a little bit. And as I said, when you said, when I said that this, you are, able to tell players, okay, I might have missed it. We might have missed that one, and we can make mistakes as well. There's this moment from, I think, World Cup 2023, Canada game, and a player is completely agitated.
see the hands. I'm sorry if we missed
Let me
it.
complain.
I'm sorry about it. I think we missed it. I think we missed
too
it.
late. I have to defend myself. If I break my neck,
No,
then what?
listen. We are here also to protect you.
No.
Hey, listen, I'm talking, okay? Mistake is human. Maybe we made one.
Why did you go that route in that particular situation, and how because it's a delicate expression from a referee, right? You know, you're not there to miss a lot of things. So what is the balance? When to use it, when not to use it?
I always think that, well, first of all, when I reached the first division in France and I was fighting to become a FIBA referee, I was working with a mental coach.
Mhm.
And we spoke a lot about the mistake and the role of the mistakes. And in basketball, everybody is doing mistakes, but everybody is trying to reduce. I mean, the players are missing shots, they are scoring a lot, and of course their goal is to score every shot they attempt. But they cannot reach this because they are human. A lot of things are coming in, defenders are coming in to disturb them. And in officiating, it's quite similar. I mean, you are on the court, a lot of decisions must be taken, and sometimes you don't look at the right place, or you just have a closed angle. You are not on the good position. You cannot see the defender, and you miss it. And this is part of the game. And I think as soon as you admit that it's possible to miss something or to make some mistakes, you will be more comfortable as a referee to accept it and to communicate and to deal with it. The only thing is that to avoid, of course, to be in the crucial moments. I mean, the last 2 minutes is obviously crucial for the teams, but it can be also some momentum during the game. Like one team is fighting to reduce the gap and something like this. This is also some important momentum for the teams. So I'm trying to avoid to make these mistakes. Of course, we are not choosing the moment to make mistakes. And it's part also of the experience to do sometimes these mistakes in crucial moments. But we are all trying to avoid it. And I think after all, when somebody is like very aggressive to you, coming and like telling you with a lot of force that it was something happening, yeah, maybe probably you're right, and probably I didn't see it. But if my goal is to protect the players, it's to take the good decisions, because my performance will be higher and better. So when the player is coming to me, I have no problem to admit if I miss something, if I didn't see, I will tell the player. But also I will try to keep them focused on the future and to tell him that I will pay more attention to his request, to what happened, to not miss it again, and to be like with high performance around his actions later on during the game. Because like, of course, yes, I miss it, but like I need to do my best to not miss a game around this player.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, I think you put it very well. The game is basketball is a game of mistakes, and everybody does a lot of mistakes.
It's a game of mistakes, yes, and also sports are bringing emotions.
For sure.
And we need to accept, we need to read the emotions on the court and to deal with it and communicate with it. Sometimes you just need to make a call to stop, let's say, the tense going on.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you need to listen people, and sometimes you need to explain. And but you need to understand also, you need to feel if the people in front of you is able to listen your explanation, if they want an explanation or not.
Right.
And this, you need to read the facial expression. You need to take in part in your mind when the communication is happening. Is it the beginning of the game? Is it in the middle of the game? Is it the end of the game? What is during this time the interval of score? I mean the score difference, to understand if it's, let's say, if the guy is under pressure because of this. Because many times when one team is leading, nobody's complaining, nobody's telling nothing. But then when the losers are coming back, now you can feel a little bit more pressure from their side, and now they start to ask questions or to challenge the decisions and things like this. So you need to understand if this might be the situation or not.
Right. Yeah, that's actually a good piece of context. Like understand the situation in the game and adjust your communication style or words according to that. But when like I wanna refer to that situation in the Canada game again one more time, and I think if I kind of use what you've said about hearing what the other person or understanding what the other person want to hear, the player just came at you, said like stuff that I need to protect myself, was very agitated, and I think there was no point of explaining something else than we have missed it at that point, because the player was in no condition to actually really take an explanation. So that's why that particular situation got stuck with me, and I think it's a very good example to be able to be honest with the players when the game or the situation calls for it.
I think honesty is one of the base. It's really fundamentals in our communication. You cannot lie to people. You need to be honest, and this honesty will give you back respect.
Yeah.
And you need also, of course, to have some answers. In one of the last game, one coach told me, "Hey, you could be politicians. You have answers for everything." I say, "Yeah, but this is my role to, like, every time you challenge me, if I have the answer, I will give you the answer, and why I came to these decisions."
I always say that refereeing is one of the toughest things I've done in my life, and what you just said kind of is a kind of a testament to it. Even when you have the answers for every question, you get a criticism. This kind of like you could have been a politician. So it's interesting. It's hard to satisfy people all at once in the game of basketball if you're a referee. Right. Speaking of communications and then getting complaints from the players and coaches, I want to talk about this new protocols that we have that FIBA has introduced in the recent years, such as like the patient whistle or the cadence whistle, which technically allow us to take a little bit more time, less than seconds, to make a decision. So what has been your experience with it? Did you also get questions like, why are you calling this so late, etc.?
Well, I think first of all we need to understand that this concept is like to avoid to interrupt the game too many times. I mean, we are part of the show, we are part of interacting show, and like the more it goes fluently, the better it is for the game, for the everything that is around, for the business and things like this. And of course, inside of this, let's say, ID concept, you need to protect the players, you need to respect the rules and things like this. But and also we need to understand that the capacity of the players to play with physical contacts and to absorb the contacts, when you reach the toppest level, the players are amazing to play with it. And you need to understand which contact affect the games and which are not affecting the games. And we have this rhythm, speed, balance, quickness that is involved in the formula. And let's say if you have this also, let's say, obvious plays, you need something to call. So let's say that this patient whistle, cadence whistle, is to avoid all these marginal calls, or what we called in the past mosquito calls.
Right. That's a new term for me, mosquito calls.
It's like you are at the barbecue, you are enjoying the evening with friends, and sometimes, one bite is coming from one mosquito, one bite is coming another bite, and then at the end of the day, you enjoyed the evening, but still it's a bitter taste with all these mosquito things. And it's the same with officiating. You want to be fluent and like that the people are enjoying the show by the players. And this is also, let's say, avoiding to put pressure on the referees and to make the whistles.
Yeah. And please,
if you are relaxed, if your hair is down in the belly, you don't need to rush to make the call. And if the expectation gives you time, then you are relaxed and you can make the call with, let's say, full choice and not emotional reaction.
Yeah, I think that's I think there's two aspects in there. One is just seeing the whole play and see if it affects the game, the contact, to have that time to really figure that out. and then the other one is to, this jerk knee reactions to a contact, which, we're humans sometimes we do. So if you know that you have the time, I guess you don't need to go there.
As you said, it's very important to have the full story of one action. The beginning of the action, the development, the end, and at the end you take the decision if you blow the whistle or if you let it go.
All right. So I think the patience whistle and cadence whistle, we are going to explain it a little bit with the video that I'm going to show you. But I also want to quickly touch upon the concept of longest time with the defender in officiating the defense. It used to be so that we had areas, each referee, each trail center, and then they made the calls in their areas. But the concept has changed recently to longest time with the defender. How would you explain that to our audience, the concept of longest time with the defender?
Let's say, like, if I speak with, let's say, non-professional people, let's say that outside player, mostly when they drive to the basket, they have a primary defender on them. Their defender will follow them from the beginning until the end of the action. Right. And this, let's say, outside player with their primary defender, the referee from outside the trail or the center has the start, the development, and the finish of the play. And they are able to officiate this defender until the end. So this will be their responsibility to decide if it's legal or illegal. But many times when the primary defender on ball is beaten, somebody comes to help. And most of the time, this player is coming from the baseline, close to the basket. Many times also from the opposite, from the weak side. And this referee able to catch this defender is the lead. And the lead can see, let's say, this move from the beginning, this defender coming to set a position and to help his teammate. And like this, we have two referees that have the full story of two defensive player actions. Yeah. And we are creating like a system that is, let's say, combining together two referees with the ability of having the full story and in order to make the good decision.
Yeah. And if you think about it, what you just said goes very well with this, the thing that we just discussed, the seeing the whole picture. This way of officiating the defense actually enables that a lot better compared to the old system where you just stuck to maybe your own areas that was predetermined.
The thing is that in the old system, few times you have only a snapshot or maybe only the end of the action, because the action is ending close to the basket. We say, oh, it's the lead responsibility. No, maybe not. Maybe this is starting from outside. Maybe the longest time with the defender is the trail or the center, whatever. But in this concept, you have one key element is the open angle and the closed angle. Because like you can be the longest time with the defender, but if you have the closed angle, if you are not able to see the contact at the end of the day, you cannot make the call.
Yeah.
You need to have this open angle to stick with this concept.
Yeah. I think thank you for the theory. I think we would, when we go through the clips, this would actually paint a good picture in practice. So yes, this is the trail referee. Like let's say trail referee is responsible for these two matchups.
Yes.
Sorry, these two players right in front of him.
I will say he's responsible for the defender.
Yes. So this is the
concept of officiating is to referee the defense.
Right. So this is okay. Let's say it this way then. This is the active defender for this particular referee, and then for center is looking at two defenders. One is here, and the other one is the one behind.
Yes.
So this is the responsibility of the center referee. We don't see the lead, but lead is somewhere on the right-hand side of the clip at the moment, and responsible for these two defenders that are guarding two red players in this particular situation.
Yes.
So now that we established which defender is the primary of which referee, let's play the clip, and then let's see the call. So this is an interesting clip because we almost have a double call between the center and the lead. So if we think of the previous way of officiating, since the contact happens under the basket, this would have been a lead call. Do you agree on?
Yes, I would agree. But then on this, let's say on this action, you have two defensive players, and it depends which defender makes the foul. If you think about the help defender coming and making a blocking foul, this is a lead responsibility. And if it's more about this white 20 primary defender beaten making the contact, then it's more a center call.
Okay. Then let's go to the second clip that I have on this. So this clip actually touches upon what you've talked about: open angle, closed angle. Let's play the clip.
Let's pause now.
Right.
The top of the key. Let's say now we have the ball handler is in the middle. It's the trail responsibility, and he got the start of the play. And it will develop. It will then finish. And if he got the open angle until the end, he's responsible for this defender until the end.
Yeah.
But one moment you get a closed angle, then somebody else will help.
Basically, the contact or the foul comes from the primary defender, which we established was the trail's responsibility. But then we have double call on the court that comes from lead and the center.
I think lead should be able to help and should be patient.
Yeah.
Center should have, let's say, the how to say it in English. He should have the discipline to not make the call because he's struggling to keep the open angle on the defender.
Right.
And at one moment we can see that he's straight line, that we have the referee, we have the 4 white, we have the offensive, I think it's 12, a red 12, and then the other player making the foul. So he got a closed angle for sure. And like maybe he can feel it, maybe he got a snapshot or a small window of what is happening. But when you have a snapshot or you have this small window, you should be disciplined enough to say, my teammates will take it.
Yeah. And then we can conclude this actually that the primary on this call will be the trail with patient whistle. But if they have they don't have open angle, lead can help.
Yes.
With the cadence whistle, and
Exactly.
Center should have the last one, the last priority on this call, and just wait to see, and not make this call, especially if you consider that he doesn't have the perfect open angle to see what is happening. So this was an example of open angle, closed angle situation. And now let's up the stakes a little bit more and maybe a little bit more complicated situations. Let's run the clip first. So basically, we have actually a cadence whistle from the lead or the new trail, because the transition is starting. All right, let's take from this situation. We have the center who has 2 defender on his side to cover. We have the trail.
I think the trail is responsible to officiate the 2 defensive players involved in the screen and the legality of the screener.
Yes, and then we have another defender here under the basket, which is the responsibility of the lead referee.
Yes.
So let's see how the play evolves from this point onwards.
Can you stop when the guy gathered the ball on the close to the 3-point line? Because now we have the screen that we described. Now we changed a little bit. Now we have the pass to the let's say I think it's a point guard, and it changed a little bit because like the trail should be on the primary defender on ball. We should be able also to officiate this matchup close to him, and I think center has a good angle to see if his step in order to change a little bit, because the white player close to him is closing the angle for him. But if he move a little bit, he will have open angle on the
Wait a second. This
player with the locks and also the small forward.
let me. Okay. So this now the matchup on the top of the key is the trail.
Trail responsibility.
Trail responsibility. We have two defenders now close to under the basket.
Yeah.
That are now the lead referee's responsibility. Is
I
that
think
correct?
the lead responsibility is should pick up the guy defending the shooter in the corner, and also the orange player with the dreadlocks in the middle of the paint.
Yeah.
And as he moves first, like the USA referee from the NBA are using the term that who moves first. And the first move, we know that this first move is made by the guy who come to help. Every time the first one that is moving will be the help defender. So
right.
Now we can see that I can see the number, or the real number of the player, but the player with the locks, with the long hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can see that he's moving quite fast and quite really like quick at the beginning. So the lead should like take this information in order to put his eyes on him, because he will be the most important guy of the action.
Right. So the lead kind of should anticipate that he might be the help defender in this situation and take the primary on following the.
But I think lead should have a patient whistle on that. But I think in his process he expects the call from the center, and he did a cadence whistle. So I think lead was not thinking that he was responsible for this player also.
Yeah. Can we use this clip, Yohan, to think about this check-in, check-out? Because, as we said, this player, the player with the, if I go back a little bit, this player here, when we're in this situation, is the responsibility of the trail.
Yes.
And then they move into here. Now, it is. Can we say that it's checked out from the trail referees?
At this moment, the responsibility changed.
Yes.
Because like this defensive player with the long hair is not anymore in the responsibility of the trail. He went out of the picture.
Right.
Another one is coming in the area of the trail. And at this moment, the trail should check in on the primary defender.
And trail might not have an open angle anymore to that player because of the traffic that he has in front of him.
And the center should also understand that he should check out from this defender and be helping with the two possible help defender in the key. One is close to him with short hair, and another one is with long hair. So he should maybe also read the play and be, let's say, with active mindset that maybe something will happen. And that, yes, it's lead responsibility to officiate the help defender first, but center should be able also to help.
Correct, simply because there's zero action going on in front of center at the moment.
Yes.
So you could actually focus on under the basket and help with the situation. But then we conclude that in this clip, the primary was the lead because how the play evolved. And then center could have intervened with a cadence whistle. But then I think, as you said, lead took a little bit more time because it wasn't sure probably if that was his primary or not. Regardless, the call was made and it was the correct call. So all good. Another interesting clip here. So these players come from the wing in front of the lead. So technically speaking, the lead is watching this player, white player, who's guarding the player on the wing.
The lead doesn't have anybody in the low post area, so he should like watch the next competitive matchup. Right.
It might not be clear in this particular clip, but these players were right in front of the lead when the action started. So the blue player starts to cut from the baseline, which is essentially the lead match. Do we agree on that?
Yes.
Yeah. And then when it comes to this situation now, there is like two kind of active matchups right in front of trail, in front of lead is empty, as you said. So do we say that kind of, if you think about the check in, check out situation, now the trail has the primary on these both defenders, both white defenders, because where they are on the court at the moment?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So we established that the trail is watching both of these players, both of these matchups, and then let's see how the game evolves.
Can you pause the picture if you succeed on the moment of the foul? And this will give us the clear answer of who is responsible, who is able to see, who has the closed angle, who has the open angle. Now we are straight line. I mean, the lead is straight line. You have the position of the lead, the offensive player, and the defensive player. And if we are in such a position, we are not responsible for the foul. Trail, yes, is far away, is, let's say, a bit more far away than the lead, but he has the open angle and can see clearly that the defensive player is pushing and dislodging the offensive player. The other one, the lead, might feel the contact and might feel the foul, but he cannot see clearly. And
right.
By, let's say, FIBA mechanic, we would like the trail to take the primary coverage of this situation.
Right. Yeah, and as said, since the action started behind the 3-point line, the trail referee has been watching these players since the attempt started and has, as you said, the straight open angle, whereas, as you said again, the lead might not see the contact as clearly because the blue player is actually within the field of view of the exact contact moment. So this would have been a trail patient whistle and a lead cadence whistle if the call wouldn't have come from the trail already in this scenario.
Yes.
Right. It would have been a shame if we didn't have a Yohan Rosso clip in this set. So I actually found one from the one of the tough calls clip that FIBA prepares. So let's talk about the trail. Let's first talk about player with the ball. Who's actively watching here? Is it trail or lead?
It will be trail will let's say check out from the players in the middle and should immediately go white to white in order to catch this primary defender. And the lead should be able to catch this number white 7.
Here, this player
in the white area, yes.
Yes.
This is for the lead.
Right. And does trail also watch this defender here?
Yes.
Yeah, and then the center take care of the rest 2 defensive players. So do we agree this player here is, at this point in time, a center responsibility?
Yes, let's say.
All right. Let's see how this play evolves here. There's a penetration. And so let's see it again. This player who was initially we deemed as the responsibility of the center gets involved with the situation. So actually comes as a help defender. Actually, we have 2 help defenders. We established this one was the lead responsibility and this one was the center's responsibility.
It was at the beginning, but I think now it's more a lead responsibility because lead responsibility should be able to officiate the help defender from wherever it comes. And we spoke about before the first move, and we can see that the first move is coming from the player most far away.
Yeah.
And that also many times the help defender is coming from the corner opposite side of the ball, from the weak side.
Weak side.
And yes, the center can see from the beginning also, but I think the center should be in secondary for this. So mostly, instead of checking in on the primary defender, the lead should turn the head and scan the paint to see which help defender will come. This white 7 or the other one.
Yeah. Can we generalize that, most of the time the help defender in this kind of situations are actually the responsibility of the lead?
Mostly, yes. Let's say 90% of the time. Except there is, let's say, a closed angle and that the center is able to help.
Yeah. In this video clip, obviously, again, there is the caveat of who actually makes the foul, if there is a foul. If it is number 61 who was with the attacking player, the primary defender who was initially the responsible of the trail, I guess that would have been the trail's responsibility to make that call. If the foul came from the help defender, then we say that it's the lead who would have the primary on the call.
Yes, and if I remember well, I think they expected one call because it was a defensive foul.
Yeah. Perfect. This was it. Thank you, Yohan, for taking the time to go through with these clips with us. I have learned a lot, and I'm sure like people who will be watching this already learning a lot as well, not just referees, but also basketball fans and enthusiasts or coaches or players who would like to get an understanding how we perceive the game. So I appreciate that, and best of luck with the rest of your career.
Thank you so much, and thanks for the invitation. I hope all this will help few referees or whoever is involved in basketball.